When Colonel Cooper designed the Scout rifle, he designed it for one rifle to do everything that a private citizen would ever require of it. However, in his writings, he left an awful lot of blanks for our generation to fill in. With all respect to the Colonel, back in his day, we had a Cold War going on. Two rules of law debating or in conflict over which rule of law was going to dominate the world. Lawlessness was a sort of abstract, on the fringe concept. Back then, people were called survivalists. Today we call them preppers. Now, the 60s riots should have been an early warning sign, but even the late Colonel appeared to have seen that as an anachronism. The Rodney King riots was the next tremor in the rule of law or order. And then the Antifa riots, where a group of people actually set up an autonomous zone free of government, has brought the problem of TF, WROL a more level, one where it can actually happen. In his book, The Scout Rifle Study, Richard Mann heavily criticizes the current trend in production scouts, the so-called tactical, or what he actually ridicules as tactardish features: extended magazine, a more tactical stock, flash hider, or in this particular case, a muzzle brake. He sarcastically asks, are you expecting ISIS or Al-Qaeda to come to your front door? The AR people who criticize scout rifles at times change. Well, the AR people were right. Times are changing. The prospect of WROL is closer than ever before. And to answer Richard Mann, are you expecting some subversive group such as ISIS, Al-Qaeda, or who knows who to come to your door? The answer today is yes. One could say to the point that if you want the Scout rifle to be your only rifle, you need to go tactical or tactardish, or add a combat carbine such as an AR, AK, or some other semi-auto such as a .308 battle rifle to your collection. Go tactical or diversify. Pastor Joe Fox of Shofar Mountain and Viking Preparedness, who is a retired Green Beret turned commune leader and pastor, he proclaims, if your mailbox is your first line of defense, you've lost. Colonel Cooper, in his lone scout with the Scout rifle, becomes more relevant than ever. One of the blanks the Colonel leaves is, when he demonstrated his Scout rifle in Africa, he was out there hunting in fair weather. Which brings us to the subject of adverse weather scouting. If you're out there scouting, looking for an adversary about to threaten your homestead, you cannot simply be a fair weather scout. Optics are quickly displacing iron sights on just about all rifles. Hunting rifles don't even come with iron sights anymore. Even back when they did, they were very rudimentary, for emergency use only. Your scope breaks and a predator attacks you, you've got something to aim with. How well do optical sights fare such inclement weather? So you're out there in inclement weather. It's raining, it's snowing, there's wind blowing, there might even be mud. What's going to happen when your scope has got water droplets on it? How well will it work? Well, the logical answer is to put some kind of protective cover on your scope. Ironically, the Colonel insisted that the scope be mounted as close to the bore as possible. There's almost no room to put cover on it. Now that's going to protect your scope and When it's time to shoot, take the cover off, either the flip-up covers or covers.
All right.
However, if you're scouting and all of a sudden it comes time to make a quick snapshot, now you're blind. Now, Richard Mann, in his book, The Scout Rifle Study, states that if you're in a surprise fire, you're a lousy scout. Colonel Cooper himself said the rifleman should always have the initiative. You're out there scouting, you detect the enemy first. You see them first, you hear them first, and then you determine the attack first. And that is the ideal that we in the scout community should strive for. However, just about every war college will teach no plan survives first contact. Mike Tyson, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. We are in TF, WROL. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Here I am on my scouting mission. My scope is covered against the weather. All of a sudden, 50 yards away, there's the guy shooting at me. I gotta get a snapshot off. Not good. Next option is a transparent scope cover. So I'm on patrol. My scope is not clean and dry, and I have a clear cover. So let's see what I can do with that. Hit! All right, we're talking inclement weather, so my clear scope cover is now gotten wet. It's wet. It's grummy. Let's see if I can hit anything. No. I am completely blind. Let's get off real quick. That works. So I can keep my clear cover, wipe it off my fingers, and while not an accurate shot, in an emergency, I can make a close-range snapshot well. One of the requirements of the scout rifle is that it have backup iron sights. As a rule, backup iron sights are only for when your primary optic malfunctions. However, it's possible that we can come up with a doctrine that says inclement weather. Take the scope off, keep it in a dry place, and while you're patrolling out to your scout site or your position, rely on your iron sights for close-range snapshots. That appears to be a viable option. The late Colonel left a lot of blanks in his writings. But if you ever watch the old John Wayne movie, The Sands of Iwo Jima, John Wayne's character, Sergeant Stryker, addresses his men. Back in training, you have to learn the book. Now here, you need to remember the book and learn a few chapters that have yet to be written down. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.